I'm sure everyone watching is familiar with the brand Hennessy. I'm also positive that not everyone knows the backstory and the history of the Hennessy family and the African American community. So roll with me as we take a deep dive, a closer look inside, or whatever you want to call it, into the history of Hennessy and the African American community. Hennessy Cognac, considered one of the most popular brands of liquor at one point of the internet, started with the dream of Richard Hennessy, who served as an officer in the French army. Using the money he earned from the military, he decided to become a cognac investor. And in 1765, he set up his own business and fueled a house of much success with exceptional cognacs. And in 1794, Hennessy Cognac hit the streets of New York and found its way into the hearts and glasses of the African American community. Dating far back as 1896, Jacques Richard Maurice Hennessy, the third generation of the Hennessy family, visited New York and witnessed the inhumane working conditions for blacks. He constructed a non-profit fight for the workers' rights of African Americans, and it eventually became the New York-based civil rights organization National Urban League. And in 1909, Hennessy became the first corporate sponsor of the NAACP and even appointed Josephine Baker as a brand ambassador in the 1950s. The company became a founding corporate donor of the Museum of African American History and Couture in Washington, D.C. Hennessy has shown and proved it has a rich history of assisting in the growth and empowerment of the African American community throughout the years of their disparity. Hennessy was one of the first brands to feature an ad in the famous Ebony and Jet magazines with black supermodels. Remember Jet? Remember Ebony? Man, remember the times. In a 2021 study, analysis gathered information on the brand from social media followers and mentions and declared Hennessy as one of the top liquor brands in the world. Along with some of those mentions was from the all-community favorite, Drake. Hip-hop and liquor brands have relationships that date back over 50 years. But what's so special about Hennessy? Why do we crave it? Why does it taste better than all the other Cavassiers on the planet? And how has it stood up against the test of times and performed so well? These are some of the questions that we may never get answers to. According to New York reporter Bianca Holman, the relationship between Hennessy and black culture solidified itself back in World War II. And articles from Hennessy.com also has a huge variety of those stories. It was said that during the war, many black soldiers stationed in South France were introduced to grape brandy and then cognac. African Americans found that cognac left a better taste in their mouth than the American whiskey. Cognac was a welcoming, warm spirit from a country that celebrated rather than diminished the black culture. African Americans were also aware that whiskey originated from the South and sometimes even had brands named after Confederate leaders. But the brand loyalty that Hennessy has with the black community is something money can't buy. Hennessy has been mentioned in numerous amounts of songs, movies, tweets, and TikToks. From Josephine Baker to Alexis Brown to Nas to Herb Douglas becoming the first African American athlete vice president. Hennessy has a bond with the community that other liquor brands can only dream about. Hennessy was there in the beginning when racial issues in America were heavy, and 120 years later, the love is still there. Here's a few songs that reference the brand Hennessy. Dej Loaf, Me, You, and Hennessy. One Dance, Drake. Hennessy and Buddha, Snoop Dogg. Hennessy by Tupac. WAP, Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion. And Memory Lane by Nas. But one thing I do know for sure is that it tastes a hell of a lot better than that Jack Daniels. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below if you learned anything and if you want to see more of this type of content. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed it. Blessings.
In the hip hop community, and that makes it perfect. That's what makes it make sense for me in Hennessy. I think it's like, it's the character, it's the originality that we both share, it's the pride in what we do. I wouldn't call myself a connoisseur. I just know I like what's good, and I like the Hennessy that I grew up drinking. What's special to me about it is that there's nothing else like it. It's its own thing, it stands alone. I had no idea a city called Cognac existed. I didn't know where the word came from. I knew nothing about the process of making cognac before coming to cognac.
Welcome back. Hopefully you guys learned something today. Hopefully you guys look at Hennessy a little different nowadays, you know what I'm saying? Because after I learned a lot of this information, I looked at it different. I actually started drinking Hennessy again because I wasn't drinking it, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't even really drinking at all. And I'm still not a big drinker, but when I do drink, I will drink Hennessy, man. Shout out to Nas, man. Big Nas. If y'all don't know, I named T-Dog after Nas. That's his middle name. Lil Nasir. Channing, that's Lil me. Big soup all day. Big jug. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. Once again, I'm OSC Jug, and you just watched Organic Sippers Club. Thank you, blessings, and peace.